Hello, divine beings, peace, love, abundance, blessings. This is AstroPapi, and I'm going to channel messages from the demon Sabnock from the Goetia, all right? And I have a playlist of Goetia videos, and I really try to do my best to make these videos educational and break down a lot of misconceptions that revolve around these spirits. I feel like these misconceptions are sometimes inevitable. It's always going to happen. So I'm going to have to keep making certain videos to just break down a lot of illusions that come forward. And Sabnock wanted me to make this video to channel some messages. I'm going to first talk and then I'll let Sabnock say what he has to say. First and foremost, y'all, when you're working with the Goetia spirits, one, you're not working for them for shortcuts in life. You're not working with them to have dominions over others. That's not the point. Demons really value freedom. And when I say demons, I'm talking about the Goetia demons. I'm talking about high level spirits. I'm talking about primordial energies that have existed since the beginning of time, who were ancient gods back in the day. But because of the Abrahamic belief system, they were rewritten as demons. These are primordial beings. These are beings of the underworld. And we see this a lot in different forms of mythology, such as with Greek mythology, the Titans were seen as evil. There is a misconception here. Or when we even look at the Sumerians, Tiamat, the primordial dragon, was seen as evil. That's a misconception. These are powerful entities. These are powerful energies that cannot be restricted, that cannot be manipulated. So they were rewritten in history to be seen as bad so that people could not tap into them, so that the cycles of power and control can still be used against us. And truth be told, y'all, the world powers, the world leaders, all right, I don't know what's the word I'm hearing predators. The predators of the human world, the humans who create poverty, who create war, who create restrictions, they're the ones who practice so much of the occult, and they're the ones who have used the narratives of good and evil for control and manipulation. They don't want you to connect with this, but some of you have this connected in your bloodline, first and foremost. Some of you have this connected within past lives. And if you're like me, I didn't choose to work with them. I didn't really want to see them if I want to be 100. I spent 2 years in my study, in my practice, just saying, hey, I can't do it right now. I don't have the capacity for this, and I just don't want to misuse anything or abuse anything. However, the more I started to connect with them, the more I realized what their purpose is. And you have to understand something. Darkness and light sometimes are not against each other. They are just polar opposites that work together. And when we think about heaven and hell, right? All is a reflection of us. So we have the positive in us, we have the light in us, but we also have the darkness in us, the negative in us. And negative is not always necessarily bad. Darkness is not always necessarily bad. In order to preserve peace and harmony, sometimes there has to be certain calls for protection, certain calls for releasing, certain calls for cord cuttings, all right? And that's what these Goetia spirits are really good at. They're really good at cutting cords, setting energetic boundaries, dealing with abuse from one person to another. When there's cycles of abuse, these Goetia spirits come in, and when they come in, they're really coming in to help you, to guide you, to educate you. They're coming in to help you work through your shadows, to help you work through your fears. That's the whole point. When you're working with spirits of the underworld, you're moving and navigating through the underworld that is within you. Those are your fears, those are your traumas, those are your pains, those are your doubts that even when we try to act like they're not there, they get bigger, right? And they start to influence us with subconscious fears, subconscious thoughts, subconscious patterns. When these spirits come in, they want to break all of that. And I usually find that with the people who I have done private readings for and private work for, they're people who have good intentions, who also don't want to disrespect these spirits. But I also have other people who want to contact me talking about, oh, I'm ready to sell my soul for power. That's not how it works here, all right? When you're working with the Goetia spirits, there really is no shortcuts. There's a lot of protection, there's a lot of wisdom, there's a lot of education, there's a lot of guidance, there's a lot of support for manifesting. But at the same time, you have to move with integrity. And these spirits, they can feel your heart, they can know your soul, they can know your energy. And within a second, they can tap into your vibration and see why you're connecting with them. So these are not spirits that you command. These are not spirits that you bound and seal. It's not like that. There's a lot of misconceptions about them. These are spirits that are ancient elders. They're ancient guides. They understand the narratives beyond good and evil, and they have a job to do. Specifically with Sabnock, I'm going to show you an image of Sabnock. Sabnock is seen as a warrior, as a knight, and he has a a outfit full of armor. He is a fighter. So here's the thing. When you're connecting with certain Goetia spirits or they come to you, they're there to help you with protection. They're helping you with releasing fears, self-limiting beliefs, any cycles in which you need to learn how to have better boundaries, all right? They're very strong protective spirits, and that's why they come in. You're not here to work with them to conquer over others, because that would repeat the same narrative that made them look evil in the first place, that would make spirituality look evil in the first place. You're not here to sell your soul, because at the end of the day, they're here as guides, and that's really the illusion, right? That demons are here and you're gonna sell your soul and you're gonna get fast success. That's an illusion. That's a lie. That's a misconception. If you're gonna work with them, you have to come with high intention. Now, I've heard a lot of stories about people who run into spirituality because they want to bind somebody like a lover. They want to do like a tie-in to make somebody obsessed with them. That will get you into hot shit. If, excuse my language, if you are trying to do any dark magic on somebody just because they pissed you off, just because you had a fight with your coworker, your neighbor, that's also going to lead to chaos. And then these are the same people that run to religion and say that spirituality is evil, but you were misusing it. You were abusing very ancient sacred sciences. So yeah, y'all, I just have to clear up that energy real quick, because I see that there's two types of people. There's people like me where we didn't really want to see these spirits and they started pulling up. And there are people who want to connect with these spirits for ego gratification, and that's not the point. You're not bad. You can ask for money. You're not bad if you ask for money. But it has to be more than that, yo. It has to be about true self-development, because if your heart is not in it, you're not really going to go far with them, and they're not going to really help you in life, all right? You have to move with integrity, because these are teachers, these are ancient guides, these are primordial energies. So I just have to clear that up. But when we're talking about Sabnock, if you have the spirit Sabnock coming into you, if I come forward to you in your past, Sabnock is saying, I'm coming forward to really show you that protection is necessary. Most of the people that I come to are those who, since children, since being kids, they were able to see beyond the veils. They were able to see the deceptions of people. They were able to see the illusions of people. And I come forward to tell you that what you're seeing is not wrong, is not false. I'm getting the energy of, like, I don't know, gaslighting as at a very early age. Like, I'm seeing visions of some of you who have seen Sabnock or connected with Sabnock since a very young age. You were able to see beyond the veil. You were able to hear spirits. And unfortunately for us, right, when we see spirits, we become an open portal for them. And some of these spirits are spirits that are not good. Some of these spirits are spirits that are not elevated, and they want to come in and create havoc. So when Sabnock comes forward, he's coming forward to put an end to that, to put a halt to that, to put a real stop to any cycles of spiritual abuse. Now, there are also people out there who have come across negative uses of spirituality that's very much like energy vampirism, energy draining. And Sabnock comes forward to say that can't happen anymore. We're at a time, Sabnock is saying, where the earth is shifting, the earth is changing, and the rituals that we're doing does leave a very strong vibrational after effect on whatever land you're sitting on. And this can create a lot of negativity. So when Sabnock comes forward as a guide for you, it's because he wants to end cycles of abuse, cycles of misuse of magic that might be done against you or a loved one. Sabnock is very powerful in clearing negative magic, negative spell work, negative energy attachments, things of that sort, and those things are real. And it's not to say that he's the only guide that is a protector, but when he comes for you, or to you, excuse me, not for you, to you, it's to give you guidance. It's to offer protection. It's not to correct havoc on others. And honestly, with Sabnock, he picks you. You don't pick him, like, straight up. And again, you're not here to operate under a false perception of your own personal justice. We are here to offer protection where protection is needed, and we're not going to necessarily fight any battles that come from ego, that come from arguments, that come from you also starting a conflict that didn't need to start in the first place. I don't think anybody watching this is like that, but I feel like, how do I say this? Sabnock is telling me like there's a lot of fear around him because he is very powerful, because he is very protective, but he we have laws to follow too, is what I'm hearing. We also have laws of balance that we need to follow. Don't just think that it's the beings of light that have to follow certain rules and do things under certain premises. We also too. And when Sabnock or any of the Goetia spirits come in to protect you, and I have seen this, them protecting people against domestic violence, physical violence, spiritual violence, negative magic, things like that, that's when they come in. And they serve that role of almost like the FBI to be like, yo, we gotta stop this. We gotta stop this operation of negativity. So that's when Sabnock comes in. And Sabnock comes in, I'm hearing, to activate your own inner warrior. And with this, it's about setting boundaries for yourself. It's about understanding that when your mind is stuck on a victim state, it does allow for both spirits and negative people to come towards you and use your energy and use your light and abuse it. So when Sabnock is coming in, it's to really activate the own internal warrior that is within you. This is that Marsian energy. And that's the reason why we have the planet Mars. That's the reason why in every single pantheon of spirituality, even the archangels, we have the warrior. We have Archangel Michael, right? There's a reason why, and it's because sometimes that energy is necessary. Sometimes the sword is necessary. If you ever look at the Justice card in tarot, right, there's the scales of balance and harmony, and that's our innate self. Our innate self wants to have peace, but then we also have the sword. The sword is, all right, unfortunately, there are things that have to be enforced. Boundaries have to be enforced. Certain negative actions need to be dealt with consequences in order for there to be the preservation and balance of peace. More of you are going to be connecting with the Goetia spirits, and it's because we are primordial guardians, and a lot of you have a purpose here. A lot of you are here to elevate the vibrations of earth and elevate the vibrations of those around you. This doesn't have to mean that you are bound to be a spiritist or a reader or a channeler or a Reiki healer. This can also be you being a psychologist, a therapist, a teacher, a motivational speaker, a nurse, a veterinarian. But I'm hearing you have a purpose here to elevate humanity, and every person who has that purpose has to do their part. You are chosen, I'm being told, and you are walking with a lot of protection, not just from the Goetia spirits, but from the beings of light as well. You have a lot of protection around you, and we're here so that you can help others. We're here so that you can help yourself, and we're here to show you that you're not just going to be walking as a void. You're not just going to be walking as a void of empathy or a void of compassion or a psychic void where you're going to walk and all these different energies, both living and of the spirit realm, coming in and abusing your energy for their own stuff. So I'm hearing the words energy harvesting, right? When there's like psychic vampires, people who want to just be around you for benefits off of your energy. When Sabnock and the Goetia spirits come in, it's to bring a stop to that. It's to protect you. It's to shielding you. And a lot of you have had different past lives working with certain pantheons, working with certain deities, including the Goetia spirits. So when they're coming in, it's this energy of like re-knowing you and you re-knowing them. And it's this energy of understanding that having this shield, as such as Sabnock has in his imagery, is necessary for you too, so that you can navigate both the human realm and the psychic realm with protection. Some of us do not choose. Those of you watching this video, you didn't choose to be spiritual. You didn't choose to have that veil open, but it's open for you. And what I'm hearing is when we, the Goetia spirits, come in, it's truly divinely for protection. It's truly divinely so that any cycles of abuse stop. And yes, the Goetia spirits are very strong, can really create very strong consequences for people who abuse power, but it's like I'm hearing like we're only allowed to do that if that person has accumulated a lot of negative karma, if that person has taken advantage of other people, or if that spirit has taken advantage of other people. So they're not unjustified in what they're doing. And the truth be told, y'all, when you work with the Goetia spirits, when you work with these energies, they really teach you a lot about balance. And even though their energies can be heavy, even though their energies can be dark, you're not gonna always be in that state. You're gonna have to always come back to light. The whole purpose of navigating through shadows, through navigating through your internal underworld, is to really find light. But there's a false light, right? There's that idea of being happy-go-lucky, being like, oh, everything's fine. I'm not gonna look at the problems. That's not how Sabnock works. Sabnock has to purify, has to do a deep scrubbing, has to really release and eliminate both things that are affecting you mentally. So this can be negative thought patterns. This can be, traumas that we've gone through. This can be our upbringing and the ways we were socialized to be that doesn't help us, that actually can be like self-sabotaging. That's when Sabnock comes in. So I'm hearing, it's not just me, it's all of us. When they come in, it's to really empower you. It's to really guide you, to also shield you so that you can walk in harmony, so that you can have your harmony and protection. The darkness is necessary just as much as the light to ensure that there is balance in your life, but also balance in this planet. All right. All right. Whew. So that's the channel message from Sabnock. I'm gonna add this to my Goetia Spirit playlist. I offer spiritual healing, y'all. I do energy work. I do spirit removals on people if they have negative attachments. I also do private spell work, and I don't do any battle spell work. I do energy clearing. I do cord cuttings. I do road openings. I do abundance rituals. But if you have issues with somebody based on some personal stuff, don't hit me up for that. I also have private readings, all right? So if y'all are interested in all of that, you can find it on the about below. If y'all have any topics spiritually or occult or astrology wise that you want me to tap into, please write it down in the comments below. If this video was of service, please let me know. I am really here, y'all, with the intention of breaking down false conceptions of these spirits so that their energies cannot be abused and so that they can get the representation that they deserve, all right? That's really the whole point of this channel. But I'll see you on the next video. Stay beautiful, stay abundant, stay great. I appreciate y'all.